Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Got a little bit of time to work on this CJ5 hood. I got some filler work done and a little bit of epoxy primer on the bare spots on Tom's CJ3A body tub. It's a nice warm day, so I got done what I could today on his body, and while the epoxy primer is drying, we got some time to work on this hood. What I have here is a number 10 sweep. I got these from 1 to 60, and I think you can see that we got some real problems here. And a lot of guys at this point would throw this hood away, put a reproduction on there. But you can straighten stuff like this out if you have some patience and stuff. We're down a couple inches in places. We've got a bad crease in here, bad crease through here, and the biggest problem is it got into the body line here. So we got to be careful to not mess up this body line when we're trying to straighten that out. So I'm gonna clean up the bench a little bit. We'll flip it over and we'll start bringing this side up. It's just easier to work that way than it is trying to work on the inside of a hood. You could do it from either way, however you prefer, but I like to bring it up so I can put the hood here and start shrinking this metal back into place. This is severely stretched right here, so if we just bring it up again, it's going to be all oil candy and stuff. So we've got to shrink this back down into place. So let me get the bench cleaned up a little bit and be right back with you. Okay guys, trying out some new lights today. I hope this puts a little bit more light on the projects. Now I'm going to start on this side and knock that down. Okay, now you see we've got a big hump in here. We've got a crease line here. We've got a crease line here. A lot of guys at this point, when they'd go for a body hammer, they'd get a big one and they'd start banging this down. And when you have a big swell like this and you hit it with a body hammer, you're going to put the shape of the body hammer into the metal and do more damage than good. This is just a regular dolly. You can find these dollies anywhere. Normally guys are putting these under a panel and banging on them, but they make real good. You can hold it in your hand, you can start banging this stuff down without putting hammer marks in it. So I'm just going to tip this up a little bit and kind of work on the bench here, and we're going to use this dolly like a hammer. Okay, just a couple minutes, we got that kind of knocked down pretty nice. We got a soft section in there we'll have to deal with later. And we're going to have to get something a little sharper to get on this crease right here and right here. Now that we got most of the dent pushed the other way, we could take a body hammer and we could start working that out, because it's just a peak right here. It's just that crease we still have to get out. So no problem using a body hammer now, and I'll go get a couple and show you what I like to use when we start working just on the creases next. Okay, there's a couple different body hammers. I've got dozens of different ones, but you always seem to go to your favorite ones. This is a high crown here. You got to be careful using this. This will stretch metal faster than you want it to, but it works good if you can control it. Got a rounded face going this way, and we got a rounded face going this way on this one. Again, don't hit terribly hard with that, it will stretch. And then we've got just a flat. They call that a shrinking hammer. So we're going to go after this crease, and we may or may not use that dolly under there depending how it goes. Okay guys, most of the time I was working with the hammer off the dolly. Hammer on dolly is when your dolly is directly below your hammer. I put the dolly here and start working there. This supports it, but we're not hammer on dolly. We're not stretching. We're not trying to stretch that metal anymore. It's already got stretch in it, so we don't want to stretch it anymore. So it's not terrible. This is probably a good time to go after the other side, shrink it back into place. A little bit high here. And this crease in the body line, that's going to be tricky. We don't want to damage that. We'll do that last. Okay, in just a short time we came a long way, but we're going to get this hood fixed when we're not going to have to use any filler in it when we're done. So let me come around this way, show you where we're at. I think you can see we still got some highs and lows here. The metal just doesn't have anywhere to go right now. It was when it took a hit, it stretched. Now it's coming back up, and it's not gonna lay smooth right now. Got a high right there, and we got a high right in here. Okay, so at this point, we might try and take this down a little bit with the shrinking disc. We'll get the shrinking disc on the scene here, and then we'll just pick the highs and shrink them back down. But we did okay. There's the 10 sweep right there. And you can see we got some light under it, but it's not crazy. We've come a long way, and we didn't put any unnecessary marks in there. See, we got that. We're still high right in here, right up against that body line. We don't want to ruin that body line, so we're going to shrink this in little by little, and we'll get working on that next. Okay guys, got the shrinking disc out. You've seen me use this before. These big ones like this with the serrations on them, I don't even know where to get them anymore. The guy that was making them gave up making them. Too many guys were being unsafe with them and cutting themselves. So now they make them just smooth with a turned up safety edge. They don't shrink nearly as fast. I've got a couple of these left, and I don't know what I'm going to do once I'm out of them. But these shrink real fast. You could shrink and get a good shrink by cooling with water or by cooling with air. I'm going to cool with air today. I don't want to make a mess with water all over the sandblasted hood and the bench and stuff. So we're just going to heat it, and we're going to shrink it down into place with just some shop air out of a nozzle. So kind of noisy and crazy, but it does a real good job. So let me try and set up where you get the best view of this, and we'll start shrinking. Okay guys, I got the best light I can get on there. Probably not going to be able to see it, but we're going after this hump right in here. That's the area we're going to shrink. Yeah, I think you can see that. So we'll shrink a little bit, we'll cool it, we'll shrink it and cool it, and that'll start to settle back down in there. Again, we're going to get this metal surface perfect where we're not going to need any body filler at all. So it takes a little bit, but I think it's worth it in the end. So let's go after it. Okay, I don't know how much you can see on the camera, but the metal gets hot, we cool it, and with my eye, you know, right here, I could watch it shrink down again. I don't know if you're picking that up on the camera, but the metal is shrinking back into itself. We're still high in here a little bit, but that'll need a few more shrinks. But that came right into place right there. So from here to here, we still got to go some. And then we'll just kind of search around, we'll pick up the highs, and I'll try and show you one in here. And if there's a little bit of low and a high right next to it, the high will shrink down, everything will come in the same area. It takes a little bit of time, but like I say, I think it's well worth it. So we're just going to keep on going after this guy. And let me get you right in that area. Okay guys, it's just a process of picking out the highs and shrinking them back down into place. Sometimes it's nice if you got a helper. As soon as you come off the shrink, you could have somebody spraying air on it or putting some water on it. But you could do it by yourself. It's not a big deal. So I've got a big area to get shrunk back into place, and it's going to take a little bit. So I'm gonna get going on this off camera, and I'll bring you back and show you some progress along the way every now and again. Okay guys, a lot of shrinking going on, and we got this area almost finished up. Now, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. Okay, when you start getting to where the metal oil cans, you know you're real close. So this feels good in here. It feels good all in there, all around here. We got a little low here, and we just got too much metal in there. So you can't have that. You know, if you're sanding or you're trying to paint, you can't have your hood doing that. So right in this area here, we're going to take a shrink, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see that tighten right up, but let's see how it goes. Okay, that's tightening up. We don't have any more oil canning. I got a little low in here. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back up, and we're going to shrink it back down. But we got a lot of the oil canning, just about all of it out of there right now. We got a little shrink to do in here. We'll bring this up from the other side, and we're going to shrink around here. We're going to get all that metal at the same surface. And like I say, that'll make a repair with no filler in there. So I just want to show you how quick you can get an oil can out of something by shrinking it, by friction shrinking it. We're just, that disc is just making the metal turn blue. It's heating it up, and then we're shrinking it, and the metal is just slipping by itself. So it's not hard to do, but you got to be conscious of what you're doing. You got to have patience. This isn't a 5-minute job. You really got to go after this and pick up and get the highs shrunk down, bring the lows up, get those shrunk down. You just got to, it's just a process. You just got to keep after it. So I'll get working on this again and bring you back and show you another update. Okay guys, been after this for a couple hours, and made some good progress. We don't have any more oil canning in there. Oops. Okay. That's nice and tight all in through there. We got the metal back shrunk into place. Right in this area. I don't know if you can see that. Right in that area where there's a heavy crease, there was more rust in there than anywhere, so I got a little bit of pitting in there. Not a big deal. I'm going to knock that up one more time. Just that little section, you know, 1 inch by 1/4 inch. We'll get that up. But we're 99% of the way there. I'm not going to keep going and bore you with just showing you shrinking metal in. I think you get the idea if you want to fix something like that. This hood will not need any filler. It feels super good right now. Let's see if you can see. There's the number 10. Let me try and get you in there. I think you can see we're right there. We're 99% of the way. We're super close. And you see all in through where the dent was. Coming down that way. So we're going to end this one here. I'm going to show you this whole entire hood the whole way through so you can watch. There'll be just a hair more shrinking. It's getting kind of late now, but there'll be a hair more shrinking on that area right there. And I think that's about it. We just want to get that a little nicer. The rest of it is nice. Let me get the camera off here. I think you can see the body line. I went right up to it but didn't screw it up at all. The body line is perfect. It's got the right shape to it. Feels right. Panel feels right. So we're going to call it quits there today. And like I say, I'll show you a little bit more shrinking on that. Then I'll show you the... I'm going to get some more of the rust off here, like I said, with a liquid or a gel type of de-ruster. We'll get that done. And then I'll show you the epoxy primer and the primer and sanding, and you'll see how it won't need any filler. So, just want to show you guys, if you take your time and you're patient, you can transform body panels that are pretty messed up into perfect usable pieces. So, appreciate everybody watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. And I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but there'll be more videos on this hood, so if this kind of stuff interests you, keep watching. Okay, thanks everybody. See you next time.